Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe on YouTube, and today we're taking a spin with Jeskai Control for Best of 3 ladder ranked on MTG Arena. So this is one of the Fight with Fire builds that I had previously streamed prior to uh, Ravnica Allegiance. I finally got around to updating the list, and especially with Best of 3, wanted to take it through some matches to see how it feels. This was quite strong in the older standard format, so hoping to see the same. So just a quick kind of refresh on the deck. It's basically your traditional Jeskai Control shell. You're looking with Revitalize, keep you alive early, a number of interactive spells such as Clarion. Removal package also includes 2 Settles, Cleansing Nova. Counter spells right now I'm trying out a split of Absorb and Ionize. The reason for Ionize is to get in those last couple points of chip damage against any sort of life gain deck. But the main combos with this deck is kicking a Fight with Fire for 9 mana with a Mirari Conjecture Chapter 3, or doubling it up with Expansion. We can also just Explosion people out of the games, or Ultimate with either Ral or Teferi. What I like about this build is there's no creatures in the main deck, so it turns off a lot of Game 1 removal, which puts us ahead. Also, our win cons can serve as removal early on in the game. So Fight with Fire can get rid of pretty much any creature in Standard right now, and then can always be bought back with Chapter 2 of Mirari Conjecture. Pretty much has answers to everything in the main board, binding for Planeswalkers, and then a number of counter spells to get ahead. The mana base is pretty standard. We're doing 4 of our blue-white lands, red-blue lands, and then 3 ofs, and then we're doing 2 islands, 2 plains. In the sideboard, we're looking at 1 Disdainful Stroke, 3 Lava Coils, 2 Invoke the Divine for the Nexus matchup, and then there's just a lot of enchantments going around right now. We don't have access to Mortify in Jeskai colors. 3 Legion Warboss for the control mirrors for game 2. We bring in some creatures, another Ixalan binding for more planeswalkers, another Cleansing Nova for aggressive decks, a Lyra, 2 Nivs, and Mass Manipulation, which in a game before I started recording this was really good at stealing an opponent's Teferi and then beating them down with it. So we'll take it for a spin. So far, there's been quite a stark difference I've noticed in the best of 3 versus best of 1 queues. There's a lot more control in best of 3 versus a very low amount of mono red. A deck that's actually pretty hard for this deck to beat is mono blue, just because they have cheap creatures to play on 1 and then are able to hold up counter spells to counteract our removal spells. So this hand we can't keep. If we had a second land that produced white, we would go ahead. So this hand's not bad. We'll give it a shot. Put that to the bottom. We're looking for a 3rd land here. So with this hand here, we have play if we're playing against control, and we have play if we're playing against aggro. So off the Godless Shrine, likely Esper. Now we just need to see if it's the control variant or the mid-range variant. So the Azcanta here makes it seem like it is control. So here we'll just go Steam Vents again, and then start holding up Absorb afterwards. The Esper matchup's a little tough. They do have discard with Thought Erasure. Another counterspell here is good. So that kind of picks apart our hand, and with Vraska's Contempt and Mortify, it can get rid of some of our enchantments. So here, I don't think we want to let down counter spells. They'll be at 5 mana next turn, so they can jam a Teferi. So here, think we counter this. Missing a line drop here hurts, and our opponent having Azcanta out helps them. We'll just pass turn here. So if they thought erasure us again, we'll copy it with expansion, I think. We'd get priority and it'd resolve first. Ooh, that's gross. Just pass turn here. So not hitting our line drops hurts quite a bit here. And the opponent getting to filter out their bad draws definitely helps. Alright, so land here is nice. So I think what we'll do is play out our own Azcanta. They'll counter. So I still think it's right to let this go. We don't have an answer to a Planeswalker if they get it to board. There are 4 cards. Last turn here. Insight should be good, at least end the turn. We can start playing it if they don't play anything. So here we'll counter Teferi. They likely have a counter spell. And we'll copy the counter spell. And here we'll opt to counter both spells so we gain 6 life. Don't think it's going to matter too much in this matchup unless they're playing Chromium as their win con. Not at hitting lands hurts. Actually here, let's take a chance. Play out Ral. We will... I think we'll just take the insight. We're too far off mana-wise for Mirari Conjecture. Still need 4 more mana. Okay, so their build's playing Dawn of Hope as the win condition. So this Clarion's actually pretty useful. Here we'll take the land. Let's play that tapped. Say go. So opponent's 1 card away from flipping. They get rid of Mortify. So opponent can make 2 tokens a turn now. Sure. So here we'll insight. Let's play Ral, uptick. We'll take another Revitalize. Try to get out our own Azcanta. So opponent here is looking for a counter spell. They get Revitalize. That sticks. And here we'll just play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. And then the turn. So they'll make another token. We'll discard Sacred Foundry here. Between the Revitalize, we're likely to hit another land off it. So here, I think we consider sealing away one of the tokens. We still have counter magic up if need be by copying, but it just pressures them to commit more to the board to get rid of Ral. This does hurt us quite a bit with the life gain. Opponent plays Teferi here. Let's see if they decide to tuck our Ral. We'll Revitalize here. Settle's actually pretty nice. Graveyard that. Transform. So we're one land short. So here we have to decide whether we want to try to, I think we try. We can't let the Teferi go unchecked. Very weird placement for the stack. So let's see, the opponent has counterspell. They syncopate, so that hurts. And they Revitalize here. They're going to Thought Erasure us here. I guess you take the, expansion. It's the one card in our hand that can deal with the Teferi. Absorb here. Not sure why it's getting us to tap that way. Insight. Draw a Ral again. And we'll pass turn. So at this point, We have a lot of answers for the creatures. It's more just dealing with the Teferi that's on the board, because it's going to bury us in card advantage. Really, we're looking for another Fight with Fire, expansion. We've seen 2 of the 3 so far, or a Teferi of our own. So we're trying not to settle here. More lands at this point just allows our opponent to create more creatures. So we're going to Insight at this point. Revitalize. Okay. So here, let's try to go Binding. So it's a good site the opponent's trying to find a counter spell. Looks like they failed to find. So there's a chance they do have Mortify. So we will not tap out for Ral at this point. We need to hold up this Absorb at all times. We can take a few more hits, it's fine. They're 6 cards ahead. See if they'll draw any cards. So here, just gonna opt to Clarion. Just reset their side of the board. Opponent's inciting, which is fine. Again, they're just probably looking for a counter spell. So here, try playing out Rao. The fact that he's wanting us to tap Azcanta for no value really is strange. So they haven't shown us that they have counter spells. Take the Sulfur Falls here. So they'll Flashing Chromium. That's okay. We have Settle up for it. them only showing one Mortify. Okay, they're attacking us, so that's fine. If they went after Ral, so this we have to can't absorb. They have the Mortify now, we'll likely scoop. Did they draw into the absorb? Yeah, so we'll call this one. Once Ral dies, like we could kill the Chromium, but we're pretty much out of win conditions at that point. So I think here we want another binding. We'll bring in the war bosses, bring in the nibs, bring in the mass, bring in this. Lyra, it's another threat. So out of these boards, we'll probably go spot removal. We'll get rid of Sealaways. We'll get rid of the Cleansing Nova, get rid of the Mirari Conjecture, 4 more cuts. Probably cut down another one. They bring in, I forget the name, the 3 mana Night Veil Predator, the new version. Here we'll probably a tough one. 63. We'll keep 1 settle. Actually, we'll go down the Fight with Fires. I don't think our opponent's going to let us get to that point where we can have 9 mana. We will play first, and defense, great. Early card draw, early counters, and Azcanta on 2, which they can't counter. So a big reason I think that kept them ahead was they had the early search for Azcanta. It helped them filter through their early draws where we were stuck on mana. In these matchups, you really just want to keep hitting your line drops. Opponent's thinking about it. Let me know what you think of the deck, if there's any odd sideboard choices you think, or how we should be approaching this archetype differently. I like the Jeskai builds more than Esper, only because they're more proactive. This is the first one that I've seen with Donahope in it. It is a little soft to all the Mortifies going around, but at the same time, we're playing quite a bit in terms of enchantments. So here we'll have that under tapped. Opponent's really playing slow. One card I haven't really liked that much of the sideboard's Lyra. Against mono red, which we haven't really encountered that much of, we have the Revitalize to kind of stabilize. But it doesn't impact the board enough as it comes in. Opponent's running out of timeouts. Connection issue maybe. Sorry about that. Alright, so opponent concedes that one. Guess it's not bad in the control mirror to save half an hour of time. Sorry, just getting over a cold. Opponent's killing us here. Was hoping to get a bit better of a video. Probably keep the first few turns. Not much is happening anyways, so hitting our line drops is good. We do have early removal just in case. So here, I want to fake that we have either a negate, a syncopate, or even just the expanse portion. Here we want to fake that we have absorb. So we have removal just in case. It's a weird matchup because we have to keep these sweepers in to deal with Chromium. So here we'll insight. They're wasting the syncopate here. It's good. 5-mana spell. No. Would have been a good time to land a Teferi or something. But based on how aggressive they were with that, it's actually not a bad syncopate target because it gets rid of both halves. Here we do not want them to take our Niv. They're going to negate on top of that, and we lose a Niv. We're quite far behind now. We have answers, but nothing proactive. Here, make it seem like we might have drawn something. Okay, so Teferi. We want to wait. If they thought erasure us, they do. But I don't want to run it out unprotected. So here we'll give it one more turn. So the auto tapping. The fact they have syncopates are 2 to 3 extra counter spells that we don't have, so they absorb here. So we are running them out of cards. Even if they land a planeswalker, we can binding it. It'd be interesting to see if they left their Mortifies in post-board. Absorb here is not the worst draw. It gives us some added protection against something scary. Another useful card. So here we'll lead on Negate. So negate our Negate. There was a line there where we let it resolve just to binding it, and then hold up counter magic. You are a fan of Draw-Go Control. Okay, so here let's try getting out the search. It's great. We'll most likely flip next turn. Alright. So them wasting a Mortify here is fine. It's one less Mortify for the bindings. It's like Chromium. See if we could fake them out. It's probably poor sportsmanship, but I love good gaming and to settle the wreckage. Oh, they're aware of it though. They have a 7/7 that they can't actually attack with. There we have another search. Regardless of the top of our deck, it'll flip unless they have another Mortify. Here they play Eldest Reborn. So here I'm going to Ixalan's binding this, I think. Ah, that's bad. The second one's tough. Here, I think we can library this, transform. Play it out. They'll block here. Ooh, that's interesting. We can steal one of theirs, but it's on upkeep. Fine, we'll just take that. Get rid of the Lava Coil. Get rid of the Lava Coil. The fact that they would get it first. So we're going to hold off the planes here. If we get something to jumpstart with Chemister's Insight, we want to discard it. Oh, they get Niv. That is bad. Niv and Teferi. So here we need to find a second binding. I think we take the damage here. So here let's Azcanta in response. Probably explosion. Yeah. Don't have enough right now. Ugh, that is an answer. Certainly is. They have a counter. That resolves. Kill the Niv. So they're going to kill our guy here, so we can choose to copy it. They kill Niv in this case. Fine. It's actually a pretty good match. Fine. Niv's too powerful to not kill it. Fine. Tap like that. So they're going to mortify here. Actually, we try. They get the Teferi back. I think that comes under our control. So they screwed up there. So we'll activate Teferi now. Thank you for that. Now we can untap Azcanta, untap Hallowed Fountain, and then hold up the Settle. I guess not. Like, they still could tuck ours. It's just preventing them. That's fine. They're at 30. We're at 33 cards. Kind of gets them in a stalemate because if they don't attack, take the 7 here. So let's Azcanta, see. So we have Teferi. Play Teferi. Tuck there Teferi. We only have 3. Actually, we can hold up Settle. So here we're actually dead. If they have a counter spell. Sure. Do you have it? Hexproof doesn't protect you from Settle. Opponent must be new to some of these interactions. So here I actually like main phasing to Blink of an Eye. It prevents Azcanta from flipping. Draws us a card. Here, I think we take the Insight. Resolves. The Teferi here is nice. So let's Revitalize. See if we can draw into some sort of counter. So absorb the absorb into some more life. So here, let's Azcanta first. Another expansion's nice. Absorb's great. So we have that, and we should hold up another. Can't really interact with that at this point. So here, have your choice. Vraska's Contempt sucks here. We're going to lose the counter spell anyways. So here we're going to Incite instead. Most of our planeswalkers are gone, so we want to hit one of our creatures. Good for some pressure. Play Teferi. Let's draw a card. One's at 25 cards. We're at 19. Let's Azcanta. Steal whatever they play. So we need more blue. I don't know if this is a glitch. Not sure why it's showing Niv on top. Opponent has Ixalan's Binding. So here, let's Azcanta. Don't think we have anything. So here, it's really questionable how much removal they have left. How many cards do we have left? 15. Not sure why this is glitched and showing us the top of our deck, but we'll take it. So here they're playing Donna Hope. I think we want to Insight here, try to find a counter spell. We could overwhelm them, so let's try again. Okay, so the binding's fine. That can resolve. Here, let's just Azcanta. Ooh, we could actually mass manipulation it too. Opponent concedes. So you see the writing on the wall. We could have mass manipulationed it. I was going to probably binding the Teferi to get Teferi back and then manipulate that. So took down another control deck. Got to see pretty much every card in the deck in that one. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you can, subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And follow on Twitter. Thanks, and have a good one.